Hello YouTube, welcome to my first video. It's a video on soloing the King Black Dragon in Runescape. As you can see, the talking is just for people who don't have volume, and I'll put it simply. By the way, I don't know this guy. It's just one of these random people who turns up when you're making a vid. It's just what people do. Right, anyway. Just a simple description there. This is a noob's way of doing it. So yeah, noob summoning, noob gear. You gotta have some money because you gotta buy the bolts and everything like that, and food and potions. You can't be absolutely dirt poor. But I'll show you what you need to have just to literally survive it now. Right, here is the gear and inventory. Right, this is your inventory. You want to have about 300 rune bolts. You want to have 2 anti-fire potions, 2 ranging potions, and 2 prayer potions, and a super anti-poison. You want archer helm, ruby bolts enchanted, black d-hide. You need a rune crossbow and an anti-dragonfire shield, and the archer helm and black d-bolts. You might want the glory for teleporting, but make sure you have it charged. I've got rock tails there, but you just use the best food you can afford and fill your summon with the best food as well. If there's Saradomin brews, you might want to replace the two prayer potions with something like 4 or 5 super restores and fill your inventory with Saradomin brews, and then have 6 Saradomin brews and 3 more restores in your summon. Or half and half if it isn't big enough for 9, like the bull ant. Anyway, now you're going to want to go into this teleporter. And when you go into the teleporter, it teleports you into a random location where one of the other teleporters is. Now, these can be all over the wilderness, so you usually won't get it the very first time. But what you want to be is you want to be level 44 wilderness, with when the little compass at the top is pointing north, is pointing upwards on your screen. You want the snowy, icy bit to be on the other side of you, and you want to walk down southeastern, the way I'm going over, and then you'll see this fence that you can see on the little map on my screen. You want to go towards that, but there's going to be greater demons in there that can hit you, so if you've got low defense, like really low, which you probably shouldn't be soloing KBD if you do, but if you do have low defense and you're trying it anyway, you might want to pray melee just so they don't hit on you and waste your food. Now, before you go in, you want to pot up and everything, because if you don't pot up, the KBD will hit you hard as soon as you go in and most likely poison you, which is just annoying. So you just want to pot up and be ready. Now, there's also poison spiders when you go down, so yeah, definitely anti-poison. If you get poisoned while you're fighting the KBD, you'll get twice the amount of damage done to you that you normally would. So be ready for that. You need to bring an anti-poison. That's the most essential potion, along with the anti-fire. If you don't bring the anti-fire, he'll just hit about 150s on you, instead of hitting 8s, 6s, 7s, 8s. So, I mean 60s, 70s and 80s, sorry. The whole new hit system is still confusing me a bit. If you get into this situation where you catch someone in mid-kill, just help them finish it off, but try not to steal the kill. Just use your bad bolts, just use your replacement bolts for the end to make sure you don't steal the kill, because that's really harsh. And then just after you've killed it, just hop worlds so you can solo it yourself. I mean, if you want, you could use this tactic and just bring 2 or 3 friends along. If you can't solo it yourself, bring a couple of friends and do it as a team. But yeah, now I'll log off and find a world where I can solo it for you guys. Right, in this bit I've sped it up because otherwise it would be too long. Now, here he is. What you want to do is you want to turn on the highest range boosting prey you can. Use your good bolts, and remember, when I made this video I forgot my Arva's accumulator. You need to bring that. You don't need it, but it'll save you a lot of bolts if you do bring it. Like, I lost lots more bolts than I needed to in this trip. And you only really need to eat when you're about 200 HP left, But I mean, if you want to be safe in case you like run out of, in case you lag, or in case you run out of anti-fire potion, just eat at around 400, and then you should be fine to survive some lag. What you want to do is when he gets to about, I don't know, a tenth of his health, maybe a little bit more, maybe an eighth of his health, you want to switch to your rune bolts, so that you hit, like, not wasting the ruby bolt spec. Now the reason you want to use ruby bolts enchanted is because the ruby bolts, when they do this little special effect like all enchanted bolts have, they take away a fifth of the opponent's health, but they also take away a tenth of yours. So that's another reason why you need to stay at least 200 health, because otherwise you could hit it, take a tenth off your own, and the KBD hits you and you're comboed dead. So try and stay at least 200. If you really don't like being that low, go a bit higher. But because I didn't take as much, I didn't take the others accumulator, and my hits weren't doing very well at first because I forgot which bolt to use at first because I wasn't really paying attention, focusing on the vid. I didn't get as many kills. I can usually get 4 or 5 kills in a trip. Depends really on how hard he hits and how hard I hit. Right, once you've killed him, move away from the middle, because he might spawn on you and melee you. If he hits you with melee when he spawns, he could hit up to like 300, which is not good, because that's at least 1, maybe even 2 pieces of food wasted if you're not using rocktails. Now, when you get into the second fights, second, third, fourth fights, remember you want to be preserving your ammo. As you can see there, I just hit 435 using the spec, and as you can see, that is a hell of a lot of his health done with one hit, and I did loads of his health down there. Right, as you can see, I just got poisoned. I was busy talking here, so I got lower health than I usually would, really low there. Tanked it out with rocktails because they are amazing. I recommend using rocktails if you can, because they heal so much, and an invent full of them only costs about 30k. And to be honest, if you're losing about 5k per trip, it's not a big deal, because eventually you'll get a visage, which is 20 mil at the moment, but that's been dropping for a while, so I imagine it will go back up soon. Probably be about 30 mil again. See, a lot of items have crashed because the new God Wars boss came out. Now when something like that comes out, everyone's selling off their gear to save up for the brand new gear that's going to undoubtedly be released. Unfortunately, they've made Nex, the new boss, so hard that almost none of the new gear has been out so far, and that which has is usually coin shared because people can't solo it. It's actually impossible to solo, and people would rather coin share than loot share. Anyway, now you want to just keep fighting them, and if you don't think you can survive another fight, don't try. There's no point in wasting your potions and your food if you don't think you're going to make it. I knew that if I pulled off some good hits I could make the kill, and because I was on vid I decided to try a little bit harder, obviously, as you do. But in real life, well, not in real life, because obviously this is real life. There's my rich friend. Anyway, in real life, well, not in real life, if I wasn't vidding, I would have probably given up here. But because I was vidding and I was just trying to use up the space I had, I went for another kill, and luckily I got it. In the end, I was out of food, low health when I finally killed him. So I kind of got lucky with the hits here. Got a couple of the specs, got him down below half health quite fast. Got some lucky hits there. Only ate 1 rocktail, get him down to half. If I killed every time this effectively, I could get about 8-9 kills per trip, but obviously I don't, so I can't. Anyway, not much longer of the vid yet left, so I'll just try and finish it off now. Do not expect to get a visage within 2 or 3 trips, alright guys? Even if you're getting more kills than I usually do, 4 or 5 a trip, you're still not likely to get it within the first few trips. Some people do hundreds of kills before they even get a visage. I mean, I know one guy who killed he killed him 800 times, and then he still hadn't got a visage, so he gave up. A couple of weeks later he went there again, and after about 50 kills he finally got a visage. So it took him 850 kills to get a visage. Now, I think if it took me that long I wouldn't consider it worth it, because 850 times 5,000, which is your loss every time, is quite a lot. Now, this is the end of the video, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked it, and I hope that it's helped you out. Now, I'll probably make more videos in the future, but I can't guarantee anything, so hope you enjoy. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked